Hey, welcome to Conley's Cool ESL. Today, we are going to learn about relative clauses. I know, you're really excited. We are going to use relative clauses to learn about when to use who, that, and which in sentences. Before I show you how relative clauses work in English using who, that, or which, I'm going to show you how relative clauses look in your language. So let's get started. Now that you have seen relative clauses in your language, let me show you how we make them in English. Come on, let's check it out. So let's look at the first one. We have two ideas. The woman is a doctor, and also the woman lives next door. We can combine those together, connect them, by doing the woman who lives next door is a doctor. Here we connect this to the woman. Here's another example. We know a lot of people. The people, live in the country. We can combine that or connect it together to we know a lot of people who live in the country. We take away they or people and we put in who, and we connect it to people. Same thing goes up here. We took away she, we make it who lives next door to the woman. Let's look at another example. Here we have another example, and it's a question. There's two ideas here, two clauses. Where is the cheese? The cheese, or it, was in the refrigerator. How can we connect this? Well, as you can see in these examples, where is the cheese? That, which, was in the refrigerator. So you can choose that or which to make the question and connect them together. We take away it and we replace it with that and which. And this will make one longer sentence, and it will tell you more about the cheese that you didn't know before in this one clause. So let's learn a little bit more about what's a relative clause now that you've seen some of these examples. Let's look at a definition for a relative clause. A clause is part of a sentence. A relative clause tells us which person, place, or thing the speaker means. It tells us usually more about the person, place, or thing. Let's look at that first example again that we saw up top with the woman. You see the woman, blank, is a doctor. So we want to connect more information about the woman because we know she lives next door. So what we can do is we take away woman and we can say who. And we can add that other information in. So who lives next door is a doctor. Let's look at another example. Before we look at the next sentence, the next example, the one thing I want to show you is we used who for the woman. So when we talk about people, we can use who to connect the two ideas together. Now let's look at this other example. One sentence says, "We bought cheese." Another sentence says, "The cheese tastes great." So with these two sentences, we're going to combine them together, the two ideas. In this example, the two sentences are combined with the word cheese. So here we are going to connect this information to cheese. We are not going to use who, we are going to use two different words, and you can use either one, it doesn't matter. The two words are that and which. So here are the two words, that and which. And so you can make the sentence, "We bought cheese that tastes great." Or you can make a sentence that says, "We bought cheese which tastes great." They are both correct, and both ways you connect this information to cheese. Let's do some more examples so that we can learn more about how to make relative clauses. Alright, so let's do some examples together. We'll insert the correct form below. So we need to look for who, that, and which. The first example says, "The teacher teaches science. The teacher is sick." So what two things will we connect? Here you could connect the teacher. So let's try and explain some more information about the teacher in a sentence. We can start it with, "The teacher." Now is this a person or place or thing? You should be thinking person, so for this we will use who. Now we need to connect this information to this information into this sentence. So the teacher who is sick teaches science. Let's look at the next example. The town is a beautiful place. I grew up in the town. What two things can we connect? Or what information or what words might be similar in both sentences? Here the words town come up both times. Let's think of a way we can combine them together. First, is it a who, that, or which for town? You should be thinking that and which. Who is for people. So watch carefully. First, we need to start with the beginning of the sentence, and that is the town. So we start the sentence with the town, and next we need to insert that or which. For this one, I'll insert that. Now, how can I connect this sentence to this sentence? Here, I can take "I grew up in" and insert it here. We do not need to say the town because the town is here. We are talking about the town. So now we have the town that I grew up in. Let's finish the sentence. We need to do is a beautiful place. So there you have it. The town that I grew up in is a beautiful place. Let's look at the next one. Joe works for a company. The company makes furniture. What two parts of these sentences are similar? You should be thinking company. They both have the words company. Let's put these two sentences together to make one sentence. First, how can we start our sentence? Here we can start with Joe works for a company. So here you are, Joe works for a company, but we need to continue it. Is a company a person, place, or thing? Here, a company is a thing. For things, we can use that or which. Let's use which here. So I put which in. Let's finish. How do we finish the sentence? All you have to write is makes furniture. So let's write that here. And there you go. Joe works for a company which makes furniture. Let's look at the next example. Here are two sentences. We work with a guy. The guy plays soccer. How can we connect these two sentences? What two words are similar? Here you have guy and guy. Let's connect this sentence together, these sentences together. How can we start our sentence? We can start our sentence with we work with a guy. So here we are, we work with a guy. Is a guy who, that, or which? Is it a person, place, or thing? I hope you're thinking a guy is a person. For this, is it a who, that, or which? The answer is who. So there we have, we work with a guy who. How do we finish the sentence? Do you need guy, the guy? Nope, because we have who. So let's finish it. You should be thinking, plays soccer. Our final sentence reads, we work with a guy who plays soccer. And here we connected play soccer to the guy. All right, with who. Let's look at the last one. The last one is a question. Did you find the keys? You lost the keys. How can we combine these two clauses, this question and this sentence? I hope you see that the keys are in both clauses. So how could we start this question? Here I wrote it down. Did you find the keys? Are keys a who, that, or which? You should be thinking that. And after that, how can we finish this sentence? Here you do not need the keys because we have them here. We know what we are talking about, so you could take that away. All you have to write is that you lost. And there you have it. Did you find the keys that you lost? Here we connected the keys that you lost with the question of did you find the keys? And there you go. That's relative clauses. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching the video about how to make relative clauses. Remember, you need to use who, that, and which. You can use who for people. You can use which for things or places. And you can use that for really people, things, places, anything really. So hope to see you next time. Keep learning.